everybody, here we are with the Magic Shares Travel again, getting ready to do another great Facebook Friday. And we are going to take just a minute and share this video so that everybody has it live at the same time. So if you'll bear with us for just a minute, since I'm sharing for Jeff, say hello to the people, Jeff.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Jeff with the Magic Shares Travel. I'm the owner.
Do you want to introduce us?
This is Holly, Amy with the Magic Shores, and Ben with the
Honorary
Magic
travel
Shores.
agent.
And thanks for joining us this evening. This evening we're going to be doing some broadcasts on Saratoga Springs. It's a DVC Vacation Club type resort that I had the pleasure of staying at most recently. And I believe it's probably moved up to one of my favorite resorts.
Really?
For many reasons. I really enjoyed it. I had a really relaxing, enjoyable time there. I thought that the, well, it's themed after the 1800s New York, Saratoga Springs, sort of a Victorian style. Studios, 1 and 2 bedrooms. I thought that they were spacious. I thought that the kitchens were well equipped. The grounds.
Stayed in a 1-bedroom, right?
Yeah, I did stay at a 1-bedroom. The only thing I would say is be careful. There was like 7 doors to the bathroom, so just be careful if you're there with more than one other person.
That is a 1-bedroom conundrum.
And the 2 bedrooms.
And the windows, did they have the windows above the bathtub?
Above the bathtub,
Yeah.
you can look out into the bedroom.
It's a boardwalk too, and it's a little disconcerting.
But yeah, just be careful what door you walk out of and how you look when you walk out there, because well, for many reasons, we won't disclose any other information. But I thought the furnishings, the decor, the color scheme, the room size, the grounds, it was just a very, very relaxing experience. I was okay not hitting the parks first thing in the morning, but then again, I've been there a few times, so that was not number one for me this time, as it was so much as just learning about the resort and be able to bring that information back to our listening audience and to the other agents to help them when servicing our clients. And they had, as far as restaurants, I think that they could have probably had a more full-scale restaurant than at the Turf Club that had some exclusive type dining there. It wasn't so much a la carte, but it was still nice. The food court there, I think one of the downfalls would be that you shared the cash register with the general store, whereas one of the pluses was they gave you a sign or a number to put on your table. Once you ordered, you didn't have to worry about carrying your food to the register, looking around for a seat.
Which is a little bit of an upgrade over the moderate food court situation.
Very much so.
But I will agree that those shared registers are really, it gets very congested in there, especially in the evenings when people come back from the parks and they're trying to buy merchandise at the store, and then you're there trying to check out with your food, and there are like 4 registers for all of it, and it's an enormous resort, so it's definitely overwhelming at times.
And one of the areas that was there was the paddock, and at the paddock they had the paddock pool that had a sort of like it was a quick service area right there at the pool. So early in the morning with the dew on the ground, the sun coming up, the freshness, the lake with the fountains shooting up into the air. They have a bridge that crosses over. Beautiful, picturesque area, immaculate. I actually did a little live broadcast, if you check out the page and look back, of reflections of Saratoga Springs, and actually I came up with it because everything that I looked at in every direction was reflecting in the lake, and it made for a beautiful video. But they have a nice little selection of breakfast items, so you don't have the hustle and bustle of the main food court, but they have the refillable mug area there, which is 146-foot sliding board there. We get kind of anal about how the sliding boards are. Yeah. And then, also, it was just nice. It was relaxing. It was themed well, grounded well. I think I had a few drinks at the Turf Club, which I thought were reasonable for what they had, and there was a nice selection of them. And it was just it was just really, really relaxing.
All here to represent that. And then the theme of Saratoga is horse racing. So of course a horse and our horseshoe, and it's like Jeff said, it's a great place to stop even and to have a drink. So we'll, what's on the front of our shot glass golf clubs?
It's actually a pewter set of golf clubs on the shot glass. Yeah.
So
to drink after you play the
to
game.
drink after, not before.
If you're that good, go ahead and have a few beforehand.
Yeah. So Ben and I are Disney Vacation Club members, and we actually own our points at Saratoga Springs. So we're pretty familiar with the resort. We've stayed there several times. And we would definitely echo your sentiments about the food court and the shop with the registers.
Yeah.
That was problematic. But we had a different experience with the Turf Club.
Yeah, the Turf Club is an excellent restaurant.
Yeah, I would call that one of the hidden gems of Disney dining. And it's a really awesome place if you need a last-minute reservation where you're going to have really good food. Turf Club is a great option because people don't think about it being over there, so no one goes. And they almost always have same-day reservations available, so it's a really good option. If you're craving an excellent steak, it's a great place to go. In my opinion, far better than Le Cellier. For steak.
Yeah.
For steak.
So, people fall all over themselves to get a Le Cellier reservation at Epcot, and they're missing the boat because you can go over to Turf Club and your steak's less expensive and tastes better.
And it might not take as much of it might not be as much of a hindrance to get a reservation there because the people that I talked to, although it was a slow time.
Very easy.
Second week of February is fabulous to go down south of the border if you're heading to the House of the Mouse. I've been down there a few times and I just really like that time of the year. I love the holidays and I love the decorations, but if you can forego that and get through that and then decide to get out when there's a blizzard here or something, or 75 degree weather.
Yeah.
With regard to dining also, one of the greatest draws of Saratoga Springs and something that's really excellent about that resort now is its proximity to Disney Springs. Before the Disney Springs renovation, there was a walking path, but it wasn't quite as nice and tidy as it is now, and it wasn't quite as scenic.
Yeah.
So the renovations at Disney Springs have really upped the value of staying at Saratoga Springs, because now, like some of the other great deluxe resorts that we have, like Beach Club and Boardwalk, where you can walk to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, Contemporary, where you can walk to Magic Kingdom, now Saratoga allows you to walk to Disney Springs. And I don't know about you guys, but I always find transportation to Disney Springs to be so frustrating. I think the bus ride seems interminable. The buses only come every 30 minutes to the other resorts. It's honestly probably the most frustrating place to bus to on property.
And they drop you off in the middle of Disney Springs in that new super fancy, we can't afford any of this stuff shopping area because we bought it in DVC.
Whereas the walking path will take you directly to the marketplace, which has the Earl of Sandwich, which is an awesome quick service option.
The Ghirardelli soda fountain thing.
We went to Earl of Sandwich a couple mornings for breakfast. We walk over there because you can get their full menu at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I thought walking over was the best form of transportation.
It really is. It absolutely
They have
is.
a boat launch, but I mean, to go from here to there, by the time I could walk around.
Even
and
if you're
Congress Park was a really good.
Congress Park is the section right by Disney Springs.
There's
so that's
4 sections,
that's your
one of
go-to.
them.
Yeah.
The grandstand section, which is where the boat is located, even if you're staying there, you just walk past the main building and through Congress Park and you're at Disney Springs. So it's still, like, the boat trip, even though you can see Disney Springs from the dock, it still takes 20 minutes to get there. Because they time the boats with Old Key West, and I think they have to offset them, and Old Key West is a much longer trip. So they'll hold the boat at Saratoga or at the Disney Springs dock, it seems like 10 minutes before they switch them.
And the nightlife at Disney Springs has really come to life.
Right. I agree. It's much better than it used to be.
I mean, nightly you can go over there and find different entertainment, live music.
And just walking around. That's without paying any cover charges, any admissions to anything.
And a lot of the music you can hear from the different nightclubs, you can just, like, stroll by, and there's more places to sit.
Right.
So you can take 5 here or there. I've listened to some live jazz music. I've seen some great comedian type things. There was guys that were making up their own rap music by bringing in the audience, asking each person like 10 questions, and they had like 10 people, so that was like 100 things.
Oh, wow.
So what he did was he made a wrap up and moved down and took everything that each person told him, and I'm like, I can't remember what the first person said, let alone all the time. very nice.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the rolling piano yet?
Nope.
No.
Oh, that's really neat.
Oh, it's so cool. There's. Well, I think both times we've seen it, it was a girl playing the piano. I'm sure they have gentlemen that play as well. But the piano just rolls along all by itself, and they're just playing away on their piano.
Did you mention the theater down there and the new Coke bar?
No. Which we weren't really on Disney Springs.
No, that's true. That's true.
But I mean, let's throw a couple of.
Oh yeah.
A couple new highlights
So being close to Disney Springs gives you access to non-park entertainment. So we went down once with my aunt and my cousin. And my cousin's favorite band happened to be playing at House of the Blues. We were staying in Old Key West. He just popped right over to Disney Springs, no problem. Got to see his favorite band. Came back, went to the parks the next morning with us. Mm-hmm. And I've never been allowed to go see a movie when we're in Disney because we're paying for park tickets. But it looks like a really nice AMC theater.
I mean, let's be real.
Well, yeah, but it might be special. So yeah,
we also don't go bowling when we're there because
Well, I'm bad at bowling, so that's why we don't go bowling. But so Sarah, that really enhanced the value of Saratoga for us is being able to get over there so quickly with a minimum of fuss, and being able to do all those things. It makes it a really nice place to stay. Actually.
I think it enhances the whole stay.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I know every time we go, we say, I wish we just had a day that we did not go to the parks.
That's a point I was going to make.
So,
good point.
If you want to take a day off from the parks, you do not have to have a park ticket for every night that you stay. So if you want to take the day and resort hop, or in this case walk over to Disney Springs, it's a great way to spend your day.
Work on your tan.
Exactly.
And a lot of people tend to go to Disney Springs in the evening after they're done at the park.
Right.
But by doing this, you have access to less crowded walkways. Right. It's much easier to shop at the giant World of Disney store that's at Disney Springs.
The largest in the world now.
You're more is the one at Disney Springs the largest?
The largest in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where else do they have World of Disney stores?
We have one in Disneyland. There's one in.
Everything
I'm sure
Disney
there's one in
World's bigger.
Shanghai, and there's probably one in Tokyo.
I think now it is considered.
Okay.
We can Google it, but I think now it is considered.
That's what people are tuning in for, to watch us Google stuff.
Yeah.
Also, I think that when you look at the amenities that different resorts have to offer, if you're going to just want to sleep and shower and hit the parks and stay there 24/7, values are good. Moderates are nice, because they have the amenities. There's usually
and I think the biggest thing
$100 difference.
Value to moderate is the double bed versus the queen bed.
Exactly.
So there are a lot of people who just aren't used to sleeping on double beds, and they get to their
But
value.
I was very satisfied with the cascading waterfalls at the pool.
Yes.
They had like a rock mountain. It almost gave me a feel. It's like southern Italy almost.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about taking a day off, you can actually really enjoy the ambiance of the pool itself.
Absolutely.
It's a little experience in itself. And then being able to have all the many children's activities there. There was something, and there's always a list of activities at all your resorts. Make sure that you ask some questions. Ask 3 cast members.
Yes, 3 cast members. You get 3 different
2 of them say the same thing. That's the answer. And the transportation was awesome. I didn't notice it at other resorts because I was down in October. I didn't notice it where I stayed at Pop myself. But they had the electronic bus board.
Yes. Yeah, they have
that
them
told
everywhere.
you what time the next bus was to get there. And the thing is I was looking at it and missed a bus. I was up and I was like, this is really nice. And there goes the Magic Kingdom. The guy's like, when you waiting for that bus? And I was like, I'm still waiting for that bus.
No, which section did you stay in? I forget.
I stayed at the Congress Park because it was highly recommended.
Idea.
And I'll tell you, the first morning I had to, look around and think about, okay, where am I? And they gave you a map, but it just wasn't the same as getting out, taking an hour or so.
It's a really hard park to look at the map and figure out where you are.
But actually, without it, it's like one of the easiest.
Really?
Yeah, once you realize to get out.
I get lost there every time.
If you go out, you got one way to get to the Disney Springs, and the other way to get up to the food court from Congress Park.
From Congress Park, it's really easy. Staying in the grandstand.
Stay at Congress Park.
I would get lost every single time, honestly, because we've gotten off the bus at the grandstand because that's the first bus stop when you get back into the resort, and it's kind of over in its own little section with the boat dock. And the maps in that area, that's where we've ended up on the golf course a couple times.
With children. Without children, I would say Congress Park. With children, I would think the paddock. With the pool
yeah,
that's-
because of the
You,
pool.
you,
Yeah.
you're in close proximity
Yeah.
to the main
Or the
pool.
springs.
Yeah.
The springs is probably my favorite overall section.
Didn't you have to come around the front though, like where the check-in, the main building and all
It's
that
right
was?
across from the main building.
Yeah, so the
So-
paddock kind of brought you in from the side angle a little bit.
Yeah. The Congress Park's best for Disney Springs. The Springs is best for the main building access.
guys
So
get
if you
that?
need to be at the food court, which is, I mean, it works out.
It was a good thing.
Okay. The paddock is best if you're looking for the larger and more intricate of the feature pools, and you want to be close to that. The grandstand is best if you like to get off the bus first. Want the quiet pool? Need the boat dock? I don't like the grandstand. I wouldn't stay there.
We love it all.
And the carousel, I don't know why anyone would choose the carousel. It's like past the paddock out towards the main road. I'm not sure what the draw is out there, but
Is it closer to the golf course?
no, it's on the opposite side of the golf course. So
Yeah, there's no reason to
yeah,
stay.
I think the carousel is just like for overflow. If you don't have anywhere else to stay, you have to go there. That's the only thing I can figure.
I'll tell you, I haven't said this a whole lot about a lot of resorts. I usually say it's your experience and we will help you create it. I'd highly recommend that resort.
Yeah,
I really did.
Did I see where they have villas that sleep up to 9?
they do.
At the Treehouse
and they're in
Villas.
the
Yeah.
tree houses.
And I mean, because I recently helped a family with actually 9 people, and they all needed the same area because of the age of the children, and that's a great
Right.
feature. You know, if you're a larger size family looking for.
Hopefully with more
Stay in
children
the
than
car.
adults, because if you
It
put
was,
like
yeah,
6
many
or
adults
7
up there, you're
adults,
not
No,
be
it was
happy.
only 2 adults.
yeah,
Oh,
I would even go
so-
4, but I wouldn't go 5 or 6
There,
adults.
did you know there are 60 of those tree houses?
Wow.
They're a little bit off the beaten path,
They're-
though, aren't they?
Yes,
Even
and here and like Fort Wilderness, there are certain sections of Fort Wilderness where you can't access the main bus without taking extra. I mean, I guess technically you could, but you're going to walk like a mile.
A hike.
Yeah. The Treehouse Villas, you have to bus from Treehouse to Saratoga, Maine, and then bus to the park. They're not included in the loop.
Okay,
So
that's good to know.
if you like to be a little farther out, if you're renting a car, if you're gonna have your own transportation in any sense of the word, or you don't really care because you're just gonna hang out at the resort for the week and you don't intend to go to the parks.
And they're 10 feet off the ground. You can park underneath them. They come with a grill. So you can get
It's more of a
that.
wilderness kind
You
of
can get that
experience.
wilderness, yeah, and a lot of people
Right.
don't mind having that. And
Yeah.
I think that it answers the questions that if you wanted the cabins, but you had more people,
Right.
that you
That's
can
a
kick it
really
up,
good point.
you
They
can
did
kick it
instead of
up a
staying
notch, and
at
it's fully serviced.
instead of staying at Fort Wilderness with the 6-person cabins, you could have the 9-person treehouse. That's a good point.
Or just take 6 people there, and you have more room, and the sleeping arrangements are
Right.
better than the bunk bed being in the
And there's
main
the-
bedroom.
And there's the
in
cool,
cabin.
the cool factor of, hey, we're sleeping in a tree.
Treehouse,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
that is
like
cool.
Keebler elves. Make some cookies while we're here. And you can because there's an oven. So
Nice.
What if you took your inner tube and wanted to go down the
what-
river?
shouldn't that be Pixie Hollow or something? Since we're talking about Disney, rather than the Keebler Elves, I don't think they're owned by the mouse.
oh, but I like cookies.
Okay,
Just not donuts.
I'm just not donuts.
what's wrong with
I'm broken.
you?
And there's also quiet pools at each of the section down there, which you'll find at many of the resorts, even
Right.
the moderates, have their quiet pools and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can find some swimmable water pretty close to your room, regardless of which section you stay in.
And they don't have lifeguards there, so if you wanted to stay out later,
Yeah.
and just relax, and
I think the only laundry area is at the paddock pool.
because of the studios being there, I think, isn't it? Is there studios in all the sections?
There are. Yeah, there are studios in
Because the
Springs and
studios,
Commerce
1
Park.
and 2 bedrooms.
Yeah. So I'm not sure that there are additional laundry facilities. So if you're the kind of folks who like to do your laundry before you go home, and some people prefer to do that, so they go home with clean clothes, you would want to maybe think about the paddock because the laundry is right beside the pool, so it's pretty convenient to go in there, throw in a little laundry, and then hit the pool for a little while.
And the studios do sleep 4 persons, but if you have senior children, if you have like 2 high schoolers and 2 adults, look at the square footage, go online or ask one of us and we'll send you a PDF of the resort, and the layout. But you can probably YouTube it or whatever.
Well, you can find it on our website too.
on our website.
themagicsyours.com.
Themagicsyours.com.
Remember the S.
But they're deluxe family studios. But I would look at the square footage and think about what your comfort zone is with that. Smaller children, not a problem.
And like all of the other studio style accommodations in the resorts, These resorts sleep in a studio 4 people, plus 1 child under the age of 3 in a pack and play. So same rules apply as everywhere else.
Yeah, I liked it. I like it a lot.
So do we have any other comments on Saratoga? Amy, do you have any questions about Saratoga? Have you gotten to get over there at all?
No,
or
I have not even
you just
seen
wave
it.
to it from
Just-
afar?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've only read about it.
You can get a great view of it from Characters in Flight if
You
it's
can,
running.
yeah. Oh, that was another thing. Thank you. When we were talking about Disney Springs in the morning, the Characters in Flight, which is actually a helium balloon that you can get in and go up. Not hot air, it's helium.
Maybe Holly will
Which is
post her
insane.
pictures from it after the.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
It's tethered, but it goes 400 feet in the air, and you can get a really awesome view of not only Disney Springs and Saratoga, but you can actually see Spaceship Earth at Epcot from there. I don't think we can quite see the castle from there, right?
I wasn't looking. I was.
Ben was like, "Oh my God, is it over yet? Can we get down?"
I was slightly terrified. It's perfectly safe. You're in a cage. It's fine.
Yeah, it's actually really fun.
Just like being home.
Yeah.
You used to be able to see Mickey's Sorcerer's Hat at Hollywood Studios, but obviously since
Just- let's not talk about that.
I know, I'm sorry.
Oh God.
I still
Oh
need
God.
therapy.
Here we go. Here
Hey,
we
the
go.
magic
They got rid of
shores.
the
That
hat.
was, the
Come on,
sorcerer's
team
hat.
You know what? They got rid of the hat. The park didn't. The Earth didn't open up and swallow the park. It's fine.
I will admit, I was very upset about the hat going away.
You have no idea, folks.
First of all, like, I love that it gave Hollywood Studios a park icon right in the front of the park, because it felt like Spaceship Earth, Cinderella Castle, Tree of Life. Well, if you take the hat away, what does Hollywood Studios have? Like, the theater? All right. Plus, there was a pin trading station underneath, so I was really upset about the hat leaving. But honestly, after it came down, I really like the view of, Buena Vista Street when you walk in, right? Buena Vista Street, and how it just seems
Open.
Like an open floor plan.
yeah.
Just kind of floated
Yeah,
back up.
and I think the theater is much more complementary with the surrounding buildings and creating that Hollywood theme.
Yeah.
So, while I was very upset about the initial announcement of the hat, I actually come to terms with
Yeah.
it.
It does have a more open feel to it.
And you figure with the increase of traffic that's going to be
Yeah.
happening there with Star Wars and Toy
Right.
Story.
I just wish they would have
Pandora.
relocated it, like taken it down to Disney Springs.
If anybody's going down in the next 6 months or so until all the construction down there is done, I would consider Hollywood Studios, for me, being a half a day or a little 3/4 of a day. I wouldn't plan a whole day. I know.
And this is why the magic's yours, because I could still spend a whole day there
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a personal preference, but because of the
Yeah.
construction and stuff.
Right.
But I just had a family come back, and that was their favorite park.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Even with
So-
little kids, because
And they did, yeah.
I've talked to a lot of people about that, just to caution them, because I don't want people to get down there and realize that there are only like 10 attractions open in Hollywood Studios right now, and be like, oh, well, what do we do with the rest of the day? Because it's the smallest park by
Square footage.
walkable square footage anyway. And then with closing some of the attractions, it was like, wow, there's like really not a ton to occupy your day, but there's still street entertainment.
Yeah.
There's still character dining.
Yes. Very
Um,
good character dining.
Yeah, there are a lot of meet and greets at Hollywood Studios, and I think didn't they just moved Moana over there? Didn't they?
I'm not
To the character area.
sure.
Don't
I've
mind
heard-
the people on the
That's
internet.
That's a maybe. Yeah, there are no lies anywhere on the internet. We can't start creating them. Goodness.
If you say it's true.
Abe Lincoln said everything on the internet's true.
Not to derail from the Hollywood Studios
Yeah.
talk, but one of the things I do like about Saratoga
Yeah.
is that there's, because it's so big, and I know we've talked a little bit about how it can be a little daunting to cross,
Yes.
but because it's so big, it can be very easy to find a room there at the last minute.
It's
Like,
true.
and no guarantees. There's never any guarantees, but we own there, and we own DVC there. We've never ever had a problem
Right.
getting a room there if we wanted it.
The
so,
only thing is that because they don't have a traditional resort attached. Saratoga was built as a DVC resort. There are fewer cash rooms available there than there would be at, say, like Beach Club or Boardwalk. Beach Club is a place where it's really hard for us to get in using points, but there are always plenty of cash rooms available. Whereas Saratoga is kind of the opposite. Like, it's really easy for us to get in, but the cash rooms are more limited because of not having that regular resort with it. But still, not a lot of people choose Saratoga, so it's definitely still widely available right up till the last minute.
Saratoga also has a spa. Now, we are not spa
I
people.
totally forgot about it.
So, yeah, obviously we are not. Obviously, because we forgot about it. Well, someone forgot about it. So if you are into spa-related things, you can stay there and have a full service. I guess it's a full service spa on site.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
it's I think it's supposed to be to have more services than the Grand Floridian spa. Do we have any information about that?
Do we have any spa people on the podcast?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
We're all spa-less.
I mean, I'd be willing
It
to
is a full- it is a
suffer
full
for
range
travel
spa.
agency business
And
and go to the spa.
You're gonna check it out for us.
I could do
Okay, Ben's
that.
gonna take a hit the next time
I-
we're there.
yeah.
He's gonna hit the spa and tell
More
us
of a
about it.
massage than a hit, maybe. There is also, as indicated by the dimpled sphere on the table, golf at Saratoga. The golf course is actually between Saratoga
Yes,
and
it's
Old
actually
Key West.
it's called Lake Buena Vista Golf, and
Yep.
it's located right in between.
Yeah, so if you are interested in golfing, again, not really any golfers at the table, so we can't tell you a whole lot about it, except that you can wander across it to get to Disney Springs also, but they frown on that.
Yeah. Did we go all the way from Disney
Yes.
Springs to Saratoga on the west end?
Yes,
We didn't go to Old Key West from there.
correct.
Okay.
We did.
Oh, because there's a bridge that goes across.
There's a bridge.
Right.
Well, there are two bridges because there's one
Right.
at the other end too. But and then there's like a path
Right.
that brought us through, and there were golf carts trying to run us over. It was
So
terrible.
if you walk
I'm kidding,
from-
folks. It was fine.
right, no, they didn't, thankfully. If you walk from Congress Park over to Disney Springs and you're having a good time there, and you've walked the whole length of Disney Springs, you'll find yourself on the west end. Your choices at that point are to either take the illegal bridge across from the west side to Saratoga, or walk all the way back through Disney Springs to get back to Congress Park. So, we've definitely taken the shortcut.
Yeah. But yeah, so it does have those features for people who are interested in them. Again, if you're not planning to spend a lot of time in the parks and you brought your golf clubs with you, or I assume that they have some sort of rental service there because they will, they will do just about anything for money.
And they do have a dress code.
Oh, do they?
Mm-hmm.
I have two rules. I don't shave on vacation, and I don't wear a shirt with a collar. It has presented some problems.
How about flat on the golf
Thus,
course?
I've never been to Victoria and Albert.
Right.
So.
And you may never be. I mean...
I'll go by myself. I forget what I was going to say now. It had to do with golf, I think, and
It has
Saratoga.
tennis courts.
And
It
does have
does.
tennis
It
courts.
has
We
tennis.
actually just debated that earlier.
Yeah, that's actually 2 tennis courts.
Yeah.
Red.
And they are located near the Turf Club, which is in the main building. So. Right.
Tennis anywhere?
I know we talked about it last week, but I wanted to mention about the increased security at all the parks.
All right.
For people to
Let's
add a
talk
little
about
bit, well, just add a little bit of travel time.
Mhm.
If you have your breakfast,
And pack
at
your
the Crystal
patience.
Palace,
This is frustrating.
and you're getting in the park and you want to get in a little early, starting first thing in the morning, they do have, and they're, like many places, they want to be pre-active instead of post-active. Not that they can prevent everything, but at least they're trying. So bear with them. Have your bags ready and available to be looked at, and
Your bag must be off your body and all compartments unzipped.
Yes.
they
Do
also
it
have the
before
metal
you get to the
detectors.
front of the line.
And if you don't think you're gonna need it, don't take it.
Yes. And do not
Save-
put your selfie stick in there.
Yes,
It will be
save-
confiscated.
Save yourself.
Well, you know what I've seen them
Just-
doing is they were telling people to go over to guest services once you're in the park and turn in your selfie stick.
Really? Well, how many people were actually doing that?
1 out of 100.
Right, exactly. Huh.
And, I was like, okay. There we
Speaking of extra time, Saratoga is a multi-bus stop resort,
Yes,
so there are
5 internal stops.
5 internal stops. So make sure that you know where you are in the progression, because it could take you a little bit of extra time to get
Just
to the
to
park,
stop at the end.
and you may be standing. So
Yes.
just keep that in mind. We discovered it the hard way a couple of times. Where do we get on that bus? That
Right.
bus is full. We could stand.
I
Okay.
think, don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% on this, but I think they follow the same route for every park. There are some other places where one stop will be the first stop for if you're going to Magic Kingdom, one stop's the first stop if you're going to Epcot, etc. But at Saratoga, I'm pretty sure it follows the same way all the time, that the grandstand is the first stop and the Springs is the last stop before the bus leaves. So if you definitely want a seat, if you head over to the grandstand section, you will be able to get a seat on. You should be able to get a seat on every bus that comes in. If you definitely want to go to one stop and leave, you want to stay in the Springs, or that's the bus stop that you want to head to, because then even if you're standing, at least you're on a bus and you're on your way.
Right.
I'd always rather stand on a bus than stand in line,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because why stand on the
You're going to be
concrete?
standing anyway.
You're standing
Yeah.
either way, but if
Have
you
to
get
go
on the bus,
somewhere.
you're at your destination.
So we'll go somewhere.
And knowing where you're at in the progression can actually help you. I know a couple times the drivers turned the lights on inside the bus, which illuminated the inside, and you could not see outside to see with
Yeah.
a sign of where. So if you didn't
Especially
know that
at
you
night,
were the
it's very,
fourth stop,
yeah, it's
and
difficult.
if they didn't
to know.
like announce it, one driver or two drivers did.
Right.
They would say where we were pulling up to, but it was difficult to look out and see the area that you were in.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you're tired. You know.
I'm pretty and I'm pretty sure it goes after the grandstand. It comes back up towards the front of the park and goes Carousel Paddock, Congress Park, Springs. That's the most logical route that would make the Springs last. So.
And I love the fact that when you're there, that your introduction by everybody is welcome home.
Yes,
I just
that's
thought that
because
was
it's a vacation club resort.
and
so
well,
that's their.
it's
That's
because
the,
they had nice people working it.
yeah. No, that's like the vacation club thing.
But I really did feel that, and it was a homey feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody, even the guys checking your luggage, everybody, if you asked them something, it seemed like more people there were knowledgeable about that resort than at, like I said,
Yes.
a value or a moderate, where the college program comes into play
Right.
and different things.
Right.
No disrespect to anybody, I think it's a great thing what Disney does with the youth there, but
yeah, it does.
you
Create
could ask
some,
anybody and they're like, well,
knowledge gaps. Not having.
and that's one of the
people
things
that
he
are less
mentioned.
than-
Like
Right.
he said, if you're into Scotch, you want to try this. If you want a steak, go here.
Right.
And just like you said, instead of La Salieres or whatever. And the only hint I took him up on was they had grilled Brussels sprouts, and he said whether you like them or not, you have to try them. He said because I never liked them until I tried them here. And he says now I'll go over there
Wow.
and get like a double order of their Brussels sprouts. He said my mother's proud of me because I'm eating vegetables, Mom, but just not hers.
Yeah.
Now, so this is a deluxe resort, right? So we
Yes.
end up with a fridge and a microwave in every room.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
They're
Because they are vacation club resorts. I don't
Right.
know if they have. The only way that would not happen is if they had dedicated cash rooms
Okay.
that they didn't put the microwave and mini fridge. Well, they'd still have the mini fridge, but they might not have the microwave.
So you've got a really good shot at getting a microwave and a mini fridge, which means leftovers, reheated leftovers, and breakfast in the morning.
Now you
so
can't have Ohana
Pizza.
delivered here.
you
but-
cannot have Ohana delivered there. But although, yeah, maybe there's like one of those order up places that'll do that.
Maybe
for
you gotta
you.
go get Ohana and bring it to your room. That would be
That's
fantastic.
a service, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Why don't you start that while I'm
Because
gone and work?
no,
Sounds good.
no.
I like
She's
that.
been trying to get me to move to Florida forever. It's not no. So
you wait 20 years and be a snowbird, go down the
Yeah.
winter
maybe.
and come back
We'll
in the
see.
summer.
did we skip news?
We didn't do news yet. No.
Okay.
Yeah, we did Saratoga first.
I-
We're like living on the edge here. We're living dangerously. We're doing the news second because that's how we roll.
Okay.
So, do we have any closing thoughts on Saratoga? Any? Did we leave any stones unturned? Any horseshoes not flipped
Any
over?
horseshoes? Make sure they're up for the luck.
Yeah, don't let the luck drain out. Just public service announcement. You should always store your horseshoes with the tips up so the luck doesn't fall out. That's
And
a thing.
I guess we've mentioned it other places, but I think for the quick service there,
Mhm.
I think the pricing for what you got,
Was good.
yes. I mean, if you're not on a plan, I can see why how you could make it happen there.
Mhm.
Fresh salads, everything was made fresh. There wasn't anything. There wasn't nothing there that I had. It was like a turkey wrap on herb bread salad. I eat healthy wise now, and I tried to, and they made it easy, and it was affordable.
Yeah.
For Disney, I didn't pay any more than I think I would anywhere else. So I recommend it. There's one or two more places I'd like to stay. That'll blanket just about every resort down there. But I would definitely go back there. I enjoyed it.
we'll definitely go back.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes that's where we have to go. We don't have a choice. So
You might hear some people saying that Saratoga is not as flashy as some of the other deluxe resorts, and that's
I'm
true.
glad.
But it's kind of like the workhorse of the Disney resorts. Like, see, like it just does its thing, and like it has a whole bunch of people there. So,
yeah. But
so
it's still
yeah,
great. I mean, it still offers the
Yeah.
deluxe amenities. It's just not as maybe as flashy theme wise.
there's not a Stitch mural on the hide-a-bed or anything like that, or it's
Actually,
not.
I'm sure they have a mural on the hide-a-bed, but I have no idea what it is.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
yeah.
okay, here's a compliment in itself. The fact that I struck up a few conversations when I was down there. 3 people told me, do me a favor, do not oversell this resort. Because that they enjoyed their resort.
Yeah.
They enjoyed, and one of them came from Old Key West. And I can't say nothing too bad about Old Key West,
Yeah,
but we're,
so
we're sitting as
you're-
close to you.
Well, your opinion is you would take Saratoga over Old Key West.
Right now, yeah.
Right. Okay. I feel exactly the opposite. I would take Old Key West over Saratoga, hands down, in a second. So when we get to, that's why I'm the manager. So when we get to Old Key West, that'll be a fun discussion as well. 'Cause,
All right,
So moving on to the news.
Yes.
All right.
exciting stuff.
Well, very, very current events. It is Princess Half Marathon weekend right now. There will be runners getting up to take their starting positions in about 6 hours.
4:30.
That'll be for the half. I think runs tomorrow, right? And then the 10K
Saturday,
runs.
yeah.
And the 10K runs Sunday.
Thought that would have been today.
Can we give a shout out
Was
to
10K
our
today? Was 5K yesterday?
It's usually
When did I
Thursday,
see Melissa's
Friday,
post?
Saturday, Sunday. Usually.
Thursday's the expo.
Then I don't know.
So I think the 5. I
Okay.
think the 5K was this morning. Was
Might have
Melissa's
been
post
today.
this morning?
I didn't see it, but can we give her a shout
Yeah.
out?
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
So-
We have one of our agents down there actually participating, and her daughter actually won
Her-
today.
Yep, and she is actually doing all 3 races this weekend. 'Cause,
Wait, what's that challenge called?
Is it the dopey challenge or the goofy
I don't
challenge?
know.
Or it's definitely some derogatory term.
What
That's named
are you
after a
talking
Disney
about?
character.
Beloved character term.
Derogatory
love it.
term.
Wasn't there a Tinkerbell half?
Yes, but that's in Disneyland later in the year.
Well, she got a long way to run. Was
Yeah,
she
she's
Forrest
gotta
Gump?
run- she's gotta
She
run
must be
across
Forrest
country.
Gump.
So anyway, that's happening this weekend, and good luck, Melissa, on the races that you still have, and congrats on the ones that you've finished already.
Yes.
And thanks for what you do for the Magic Shores.
Yes. Amy, do you want to talk about the new character meal?
I
We've
do.
got an open
Just
on
before
that.
I talk about this, Olivia, if you're watching, turn Daddy's phone off, please.
Hi, Olivia. Hi, Fred.
At the boardwalk, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this correctly. Trattoria?
Trattoria, I think?
Trattoria?
Oh,
Alforno?
yeah.
Yeah,
That
you
sounds
did
good.
well.
Sounds good.
Okay. They're going to have a new princess breakfast, and again, I stress just breakfast, and it's going to have Rapunzel and Flynn Rider and Ariel and Prince Eric. Has they've been announced so far. I don't know if any others
That's also
Will
posted on our
join-
Facebook
Yeah.
page.
or not, but seating starts April the 2nd, and you can start making reservations March the 1st. Very, very, very excited about. I'm partial to princesses, so very excited about a new princess meal. And this is also a meal that you don't need a park ticket for. So,
Excellent point.
yes.
Transportation.
So if you're going to Saratoga as a non-parks vacation
Yeah,
and you want to do a princess meal, you can pop over to the boardwalk to Trattoria Alforno.
you don't need a ticket.
Yeah.
So very
Brilliant.
excited for that.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
That'll definitely be on our next trip, whenever that.
We're not going to World for a little while.
She
but-
can do anything.
But I am all about the Rapunzel breakfast.
Yeah.
So we're
we
going
might
to do
just
that.
have to- we might just have to go for breakfast.
Hey, what,
we don't need a park ticket.
People already looked at us
Right.
cross-eyed for going down for one night to do the
I know, but
the
it was.
Festival
why
of
not
the
go have
Arts.
breakfast?
Festival of
We
the
might as well
Arts.
just go for breakfast. Yeah,
It's like,
absolutely.
you're going down for one night?
Yes.
It's a long story.
Coming to PhotoPass soon. There's going to be a new option to be able to do your personalized storybook directly from PhotoPass. So if you're
That's
into
awesome.
doing a photo book when you come home, which we are, PhotoPass will now offer a service where you can use your PhotoPass photos to do your book directly from Disney.
When she says we, she is. It's all her. So if you come over and visit us and look at our photo books, that is all Holly's work.
Personally, I will probably still use Shutterfly because of the flexibility of it and being able to import my own photos. It wasn't really clear if you're going to be able to do that in the new software.
Okay.
So I'm kind of feeling like this is going to be the, like, I don't feel like dealing with photo book and click order, you know? So it would still give you all of your PhotoPass photos, but it's not going to give you the ability to probably journal your trip or to do things like that. I wouldn't expect that out of the software. So, but it is going to be an option. So.
And I don't think in any of the videos we've ever done, I don't think we've ever really touched on
PhotoPass.
PhotoPass.
Yeah.
Or Memory
Yeah.
Maker.
And how they're two different things.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that quick?
Memory Maker can be purchased before your trip at a discounted rate of $149. If you purchase it at the parks, it's $169. That's the current
And you have
pricing.
to buy it
Plus
3 days in advance of
Yes.
using it to get the pre-pricing.
Yes. And what it allows you to do is every picture that is taken in the parks, and resorts
And rides.
and rides,
And video.
And video.
on the rides.
they are all yours. Excuse me.
Well, you purchase the rights to have those photos and those videos.
And to be allowed to reproduce them
and
digitally.
be allowed to reproduce them, so you can come home and put them into a CD. You can print them. I'm not saying go down and get 2,500 pictures, but I've known a family of like 9 or 10 that went down there. And another good thing is if you're going with friends and family, get more than one room, or each room has its own reservation.
You can share your
You
PhotoPass.
can link your PhotoPass with your friends and family on startyourdisneyexperience.com profile, and then you can, no matter where they're at or where you're at, you don't have to be together to utilize that service. It will all get downloaded. You will need an administrator, so whoever is the
has to distribute the photos. Somebody has to take responsibility to distribute.
so
them to
everything will
everyone.
be on their band on there, and then they will have the access to it under the code or whatever when you come back to look everything up online.
We've used this like sharing splitting service twice. We had an annual pass last year, and with certain annual passes, you get free Memory Maker. So all of our photos for the year we were able to download, and it was included with our pass, which was an unbelievable value. And I hope they continue to do it forever, but I'm afraid they won't.
It was.
But
Go ahead.
we had friends that joined us for one of our trips, and we were able to link our My Disney Experience accounts, and even with our free annual pass Memory Maker, they were able to put their photos on it, and I was able to dump them onto a flash drive and send them to them. So they basically got free Memory Maker. So if you know someone with an annual pass that has it included already, and they're willing to do that for you, that's a really great way to save a bundle and still get great photos. And also, even if you have to buy it on your own, the benefit of doing Memory Maker is that instead of that cast member who's taking the photos having to fiddle with your phone and then switch back to their camera, you're not going to lose those in-between pictures. They will take photos for you. The PhotoPass photographer will take photos with your own camera, but you're going to lose the DSLR photos that they're taking with their high-powered, high-speed cameras while they're snapping your fuzzy cell phone photos. And you lose a lot of, like, I think when we've had them do that, we've maybe gotten a total of 3 or 4 photos out of the entire shoot. When we just let them use their camera and we don't hand them ours, we probably get 8 to 10 out of
Yeah.
each character interaction.
When we did
Easily
the Joy and Sadness meet and greet, they had photos from different angles. They had some that
Right.
focused on me, and some that focused on Holly, which is much better. But and there was no fiddling with the phone or any of that nonsense. We just here's my band, please scan.
Yeah,
And
the only scary thing is you don't have a backup, because that sometimes I would hand them my phone because I was like, I don't want you to not, the scan doesn't work and I lose my photos. So just out of paranoia I would do that. But
Well, yeah, but even then you relaxed a little bit and
Yeah.
you just let them take the pictures.
right,
So
I would recommend
And they
doing
click off enough of them that you can pick and choose
right.
which ones you want to print, which ones you want to
Exactly,
put on the
but
CD.
you don't lose that time when they're fiddling back and forth between the phone and the camera, and they're missing what's happening with the interaction.
And with
And I don't know
that
if
being-
ever. Go ahead.
With that being said, if you want to check your pictures, sometimes it does take up to 24 hours for them to
Yes.
show up onto your My Disney Experience account. But if you are looking through, you're like, wait a minute, where is my picture with Minnie Mouse? And you're going through, if you remember the day and the approximate time you can find somebody and they will find
They will
photos
research it
for
and
you.
bring it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I've done that and it worked.
Yeah, so,
So
you
it's
can
not-
keep track
all
of
is
it
not
through your
lost.
stay. No,
Yeah.
no, it is a fabulous service. We are definite picture people. The year that my parents went with us, we had over 800 photos.
On PhotoPass?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And it was great because we got some with all 5 of us, just Olivia, just the 3 of us, just mom and dad. You know, mom and dad had been at Disney World in 30 years. Like this was a great trip for them too, and they wanted to capture moments for just
Right.
the 2 of them. So with the multiple, you know, people and different characters, and it worked out great. And if you think, you know, I don't know if we'll get $150 worth it. You definitely will. And
they're $15 a download
Exactly.
if you wait and try to do just a la carte photos when you get home.
yes,
So
Yeah.
that was what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
If you get home and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this picture of Mickey, and I love this
So-
picture with Goofy.
right.
You've already spent $30.
If you want to download
So-
6 photos or more when you get home, you should have just bought memory. Maker.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
pretty much.
Because I bought 2
yeah.
5x7s when I was down there because I really didn't, you know, not traveling with a number of people or anything. It was limited who I was with and what I did. I just wanted the Sorcerer, Mickey, and Minnie to finish my collection and then my wall of princesses with Anna.
So did
And
you had the
also-
photos made right there on property?
Right there, and I paid
But
probably
they were from
30
your scanned Magic Band.
Yeah, I
from your
could. Yeah,
photos?
I went back in. So you can still get the PhotoPass, still have them on your band, and you can go through them and pick and choose. If you only want a couple special ones, you can go that route. But I paid like $36 for 2, 3, 5x7s. And you're looking at getting many, many more than that for a lot less if you wanted to.
And another place that will take as part of your memory maker is if you are going to do Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. You actually, after you leave the boutique, you go over to Castle Couture, and there is a legit photo shoot. Just
With like backdrops and
Yes.
like everything, right?
little
And props
stools, yes, and it's awesome. All those photos are on your memory maker. I mean, from Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique alone, I don't know, 50 photos of Olivia,
Wow.
because that's also included in the boutique. There is actually a
So if you-
photographer in the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique taking photos of different stages of
Okay.
putting the hair out.
But
and
if you
whatever.
don't have memory maker, you have to pay a la carte for those photos.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's not included
no.
in the Bibbidi Bobbidi
It is
Boutique
more-
experience.
No,
It was
it's
at
not.
one time. They did have a small photo package that came with the. Well, it depended on the elevated cost. If you took the
Oh.
higher
Well,
echelon,
they've
They
probably
may.
rolled it in now that they have memory maker.
Yeah,
Maybe have
I
rolled it in, or maybe
I don't know
a
that.
different
yeah,
package.
it's
Yeah.
been since
Okay.
13 or 14, but I haven't been to Bibbidi Bobbidi for a little while.
I've never done Bibbidi Bobbidi.
I'm all
so-
about some pixie dust, but just not.
So that's another.
Yeah.
If you're planning on doing Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, I would
Really excellent reason.
absolutely 100%.
Okay, good. Next week is the start of Flower and Garden, or as I like to call it, Food and Garden. And that'll actually be our topic next week, so if you tune in, we'll be talking all about the Flower and Garden Festival and how awesome it is. I mean, sorry, spoiler alert. Also coming up in festival-wise in Disneyland, California Adventure will be hosting their Food and Wine Festival again this year. And the food booth menus have just been released. They're out on Disney Parks blog somewhere. Look at DisneyParksblog.com. They're on there if you're going to California. Last year they had 6 booths, and I didn't even count them all this year. There are at least a dozen. So they've definitely expanded the offerings there. I did scroll through quickly to see that my favorite dish from last year is now absent. So I don't care anymore about missing the festival because my little shrimpy crabby thing is gone.
Shrimpy Krabby Patty.
Yeah. It was a shrimpy crabby tomato cocktail thing. Oh, it was to die for. Sasagula Float Works, the quick service at Port Orleans French Quarter. This is thanks to Melissa. Little tip. They are doing something special for Oscar night. So anybody who's going to be on property on Sunday, that's this Sunday.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's this Sunday. We have to have a party. Well, if you're going to be at Disney this weekend, you can go to an Oscar night party at where's it called? Port Orleans French Quarter. And let's see, ABC Commissary at Hollywood Studios has a new thing.
It's going fast casual dining. So
Fast casual. Is that where you dress up for a hamburger?
I'm not quite sure.
I think you dress
Yeah.
up for the hamburger, but they bring it to your table.
Oh, there you go.
It seems to be.
Sort of like
So-
Be Our Guest. Where
Yeah,
they bring
yeah, kind of like they're still doing quick service at lunch, but they're going to move to more table servicey kind of thing at dinner.
So is it going to be a table service?
I think that's what they mean by
credit?
fast casual. Oh, I hope not. Oh, don't use a table service credit there if you're on the dining plan.
I mean,
This-
it's
that
a
would
good
be-
quick service.
It's a great
but
quick service,
Yeah,
but
it
that
is
would
a
be an
good quick
absolutely
service.
useless.
It's the
fast
best
food.
one in Hollywood Studios,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, yes, I would.
Although
agree with
I don't
that.
know, but Jeff said Backlot Express was really good the other week.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we have traditionally not cared for Backlot Express, but I'm kind
I
of
think he's
interested
wrong.
to try some of the new things.
No, you didn't eat what I had.
It looked really good.
That's because you didn't share any.
And I
with
had the
me.
magical tray and got a free
Hurt me in the
cupcake.
feelings.
I mean, honestly, the only thing Ben cares about at Hollywood Studios is that Starring Rolls is closing.
Yes.
Starring Rolls Bakery is closing at Hollywood Studios, in case we didn't announce that.
My enemy has been vanquished.
They poisoned Ben 1 year. he had food poisoning from the sandwich that he traded with me.
Not Disney.
Yes.
So,
And yes, that was the same day as the one and only Christmas party we've done. So I spent most of the Christmas party that we paid extra for longing for
Very
the sweet
sick.
release of death. It was pretty bad.
and acting as a placeholder in line for
Yeah,
character meet
pretty
and greet. I would
Take
just-
take this sweating, crampy guy and just put him here and hold the line for Mary Poppins.
I'm going
and the
shopping.
Penguins.
I'm going to get a cookie. I'll be right
I
back.
got cookies. Great. One of them Pepto flavored.
Do you want some cocoa?
How about breakdancing with Chippendale?
Oh.
We've also got in food, because that's like all that's happening right now. There's
I like
food
food.
opening.
They know their audience.
Geyser Point Grill and Bar at Wilderness Lodge is now open for business, so a new place to get some snacks and beverages down by the pool. And the new cabins are supposed to be open this year.
Oh,
I just saw today they're supposed to open in 2017, so
nice.
that construction is probably going to continue to move along quickly. So
Very good.
that's exciting.
Mhm.
And then last but not least for our news tonight, go for it.
2018 cruise line itinerary's been released,
From May through September.
and they're going to.
Oh my gosh, they go all kinds of cool places.
Well, where did we?
Disney is adding a lot of ports.
Ireland.
Ireland. There's Cork and Dublin stops on the British Isles cruise. There is one sailing only. It leaves on September 2nd. And it literally encircles the United Kingdom. And it stops in Cork, Dublin. It stops in Scotland. It ends in Dover. It looks like an amazing cruise. And thanks to scheduling, I can't go. But that's actually
I'll
for
take
next.
pictures.
That's for next September. September.
Manly, yes,
Uh,
but I like
this-
it too.
I'm sure it's been covered on this podcast before, but Disney cruises work pretty much the exact opposite of all other cruises. To get the best rate, book as soon as possible.
As
Like,
soon as possible.
This is not just trying to drum up business, folks. It will save you lots of money.
Right.
They don't
Book
have
now.
18 or 20 ships.
Right.
Yeah.
They have 4.
They're working
And
on
they-
2
Soon to be
more,
6.
but
Yeah, we still got another 2 years.
so in
If-
all seriousness,
basically, if
If you
plan
know
ahead.
you're going on a cruise, book it as soon as you
If
know
you
you're
want
going on
to
a cruise.
cruise May through September of 2018, you should be booking within the next 2 to 3 weeks. That's, I mean, otherwise the price will start to jump.
Supply and demand. It's not like Disney World where they set prices yearly, annually.
And when they sell out, they sell out. That's a cruise line will increase their prices.
It could be as much as
Drastically.
30%.
And Adventures by Disney also does that. As their
Yes.
itineraries are getting ready to sell out, you will see prices increase on those as well from the list. So, just yeah, just keep that in mind. Now, it's unusual, but what's happened on the holiday sailings for the Danube and Rhine River cruises, they're actually offering a discount on Adventures by Disney right now. So if you're interested in one of those trips and the price point was a little too scary, give us a call because we'll help you find the ones that are discounted currently. So
I think river cruises is one of the few things that Disney hasn't led the adventure on. You know,
yeah, I think they bought their ships from Viking actually. The Viking sold them 2 ships, and that's what they're working with right now. So
But if they put anywhere near the quality of what they do with everything else they touch into a river cruise, and that is a way to get up into these countries that normally and see cities that you normally wouldn't see
right.
on guided tours and stuff. So.
And they are under the Adventures by Disney umbrella, not under the Disney Cruise Line umbrella. So if you're looking for them there, you're not going to find them.
They don't have the wow effect.
Yes, and another thing about river cruising is that your itineraries are included on river cruise. So whereas
Your excursions.
your excursions, sorry.
Management.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
The itinerary of your excursions.
Yeah, your excursions are included in your price. Whereas we were actually pricing out the Alaskan cruise for 2018 last night because I was going
Dog
to
sled.
follow my own advice. There's a dog sled excursion. No, there's one that's like $160. There's a dog sled excursion that's $700 a person.
Go big or
So-
go home.
Right. So when we're talking about excursions
One in
being
Alaska.
included, right? Exactly. When we're talking about excursions being included on river cruising, and you're talking about excursions in countries like Germany and Austria and Hungary. I mean, those aren't going to be cheap excursions if you try to go do land tours there by yourself. So that really is a huge benefit. And we're talking that's an inclusion on a.
I'll tell you what I think would be beautiful is do one of the holiday.
Yes, that
Their-
looks amazing.
their
Well, those
Chri-
are the
their
ones. The holidays
Christmas.
are the ones that are on sale.
Wow.
I don't know why. I mean, I
I don't
would
either.
think
I
that
wanna
would be
go.
the biggest draw.
Let's see. So that does it for us for news for tonight. Unless anybody else has anything. Did I miss any?
No.
Any fun stuff? No. Okay. So our fun fact of the day has to do with another one of my favorite places. Everybody's seen the mural inside of Cinderella Castle, right? Okay. You have any ideas about how that got there? How it was constructed? Good. I got a cool story for you. So, the mural was designed by Dorothea Redmond, and it was created by Hans Scharf. And Hans never laid eyes on Cinderella Castle in person. He created the mural. He got the dimensions, the specs of the inside of the castle, created the mural in 2 foot by 2 foot sections, and numbered them according to a grid.
Oh my word.
He put black felt over the face of the mural and sent them to the Imagineers who were on site at the castle with the instructions to glue them on according to the grid and not to remove the felt until all of the pieces were in place. So this mural was assembled in 2 foot by 2 foot sections, completely blind.
Wow.
That's astonishing.
When they peeled it back and unveiled what was underneath the 10 foot by 15 foot construction, they found that there were, of course I didn't write those notes down, right? Okay, they're in my head. Fantastic. They found that there were 1 million tiles underneath and 500 different colors. They include real gold and real silver threads running through the tile.
Wow.
Yeah, it's I always thought it was an amazing work of art.
Oh yeah, for sure. You
When
definitely
we
have to
heard
see
the
it.
story behind how it was created, I almost fell on the floor. It's so astonishing.
Wow, that's crazy.
The mural also has a couple of other really cool things in it. It has the only 2 Disney Imagineer faces anywhere in the parks. And it's also the only piece of art that is signed. And it's actually signed by Hans Scharf and Dorothea Redmond. The 2 Imagineers that are featured are Herb Ryman, who, if you remember from Festival of the Arts last week, he was one of the artists that had the display in the Festival Center. He did a lot of concept art for Disney. So in addition to doing the original concept art for Cinderella Castle, he also is the Imagineer that worked directly with Walt Disney to create the very first concept drawing of Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
So his face is featured as the footman in the mural. And Herb Ryman, who actually engineered Cinderella Castle, I'm sorry, that's Herb Ryman. John Hench, who engineered
Right.
Cinderella Castle, is the Grand Duke in the picture.
That's
His
cool.
face is in the Duke. And then, of course, there's some symbolism in the colors. If you look at the stepsisters' faces, one is red with rage, one is green with envy.
Mm-hmm.
So, very cool thing there. And Hans Scharf also did the mural at the Land Pavilion outside in Epcot, outside of Soarin'.
Yeah.
So anyway, just a little bit of fun about the castle mosaic.
That was really cool fact.
And
I enjoyed that.
thanks.
Thank you.
I would like to give a shout out. It
Shout
could have been part of the news, yeah.
All right.
To Jeremy Kirkpatrick.
Hey, Jeremy.
He's our newest agent that came on board with us in the past week or so, and I believe he's going to be a wonderful asset to us as a provider of services of the Disney products to our clients, because he loves the Disney product and respects it and appreciates it, and he loves putting magic together for people. So I'm glad to have him on board with us, because one of the qualifications we have, you really need to care about what you do. You need to have your product knowledge, and you need to have the people around you caring about what you do and what they do. And that's the way we are, or I guess can you say the way we roll
Yeah.
at the Magic Shores Travel. And if we're done, I would say good evening to everyone.
Yep.
And thank you for joining us this evening. And have a magical day.
Yeah.
And
And just a reminder that if you are needing to contact us, you can message whichever page you're watching this from. You can also contact us at our first names, which is Amy, A-M-Y, Holly, H-O-L-L-Y, and Jeff, J-E-F-F, at themagicsyours.com. So we'll see you real soon.
now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E. Good night, everybody. Thank you.